Welcome to Oral Hydration Therapy for Very Preterm Preeclampsia, Part 2. Statistical comparisons was done with independent sample t-test by using SPSS 2007 software. Coming to the results, the mean daily urine output in OHT group was 4 liters and the mean gestational weeks that pregnancies could be continued were 7.51 weeks in OHT group and 1.39 weeks in non-OHT group. This difference is statistically significant. Coming to the maternal outcomes, the mean arterial pressure that was observed in OHT group was 104.86 and in non-OHT group it was 115.99 millimeters mercury. Urine albumin dipstick grade was 0.63 in OHT group and 2.15 in non-OHT group, and the mean edema grade was 0.34 in OHT group and 1.37 in non-OHT group. There is statistically significant difference in the values between these two groups. Neonatal outcomes. The number of babies that developed RDS in OHT group was 1 and in non-OHT group it was 10. Mean NICU admission days in OHT group was 0 and in non-OHT group it was 8.36 days. And the mean birth weight in OHT group was 2.54 kg and in non-OHT group it was 1.68 kg. This difference is statistically significant between the groups. Number of women that developed eclampsia in OHT group was 0 and in non-OHT group it was 4. Imminent eclampsia in OHT group was 0 and in non-OHT group it was 6. Severe PIH in OHT group was 0 and in non-OHT group it was 5. Take-home babies in OHT group was 19 and in non-OHT group it was 14. Number of IUF days in OHT group was 1 and in non-OHT group was 6. There is statistically significant difference between these two groups. Coming to the serum electrolytes, the mean serum sodium levels in OHT group was 139.77 and in non-OHT group it was 138.48. Mean serum potassium levels in OHT group was 4.09 and in non-OHT group it was 3.97. There is no statistically significant difference in these values between these two groups, indicating no electrolyte imbalance with oral hydration therapy. Likely mechanism for oral hydration therapy. Fluids continuously enter vascular compartment from gastrointestinal tract. This increases blood volume and hemodilution. Increased blood volume improves renal, uteroplacental and other organ perfusions. This results in increased urine output, which further results in increased excretion of anti-angiogenic protein SFLT1. This leads to reduction in blood levels of SFLT1, which further results in reduction of endothelial dysfunction. By all these mechanisms, hydration therapy breaks the vicious cycle of pathophysiology of preeclampsia. This could be the reason for our excellent results. OHT could continue pregnancies for 7.51 weeks when compared to dextran sulfate apheresis, which is only for 1 to 3 weeks. Further research is needed with SFLT1 estimation to confirm our results by multicentric RCTs. Compliance of the woman for OHT is excellent. These are the urine output charts of our preeclampsia patients for the past few years. Oral hydration therapy was introduced as a pilot project on 1st August 2018 in Chittoor district of Andhra Pradesh. All medical officers were advised to recommend oral hydration therapy, that is more than 3 liters of water in 24 hours, to all women after 24 weeks of gestation. Field staff like ASHA workers and ANMs were assigned the job. There was very significant reduction in maternal mortality related to preeclampsia in 11 months of observation. On conclusion, Hydration therapy is a simple, very effective, and easily practicable intervention which costs nothing to the patient when compared to dextran sulfate apheresis. This paper was published in IOSR journals. Thank you.